Today I'm going to show you all of the ghost looping spots in Phasmophobia for the small maps. This video hopefully allows you to get better at the game and not die as often as you might do now. If you want to see a certain loop so you can master it, use the timecodes in the description down below. Anyways, that's all I have to say, so let's move on to the first loop. Starting off with the Tanglewood garage loop. To pull this trick off, what you have to do is let the ghost go around the car with you, but don't let the ghost go too close to you or too far away from you. If you do, the ghost will likely try absolutely break your ankles and turn back on you. This has definitely not happened to me before. Stupid little bit. When the ghost is on the opposite side of the car to you, sprint to one of the two lockers, go inside of it and hold the door shut. Making sure the ghost is on the opposite side of the car is the vital part to this trick. Even though there are windows in the car, the ghost cannot see you through them, which means it breaks line of sight and allows you to go into the locker without the ghost seeing you do it. And holding this locker door close prevents the ghost from opening it and killing you. Holding this door wouldn't work if the ghost sees you enter it though, it'll end up just forcing the door open. Next up is the Tanglewood kitchen loop. This loop, in my opinion, increases in difficulty from the previous one, but is still very useful. What you have to do is allow the ghost to come close to you, and then when it does, move clockwise around the table. Sprint all the way to the kitchen island, and force it to move to the left side. This makes the ghost go the long way around to get you, whilst you run into the garage and back into the locker. You may have noticed that I went back and forth a few times around the island. This was to force the ghost over to the side I wanted it to be at, which give me the time and space to make a move. Willow Street has its many looping spots, for example the kitchen, basement, garage and the living room. All four of these are near enough the same, but some have to be done differently. So let's start off with the kitchen and garage loops. It doesn't have to necessarily be the kitchen and garage, it could be the living room and garage, but it depends on the situation you're in. The kitchen island is probably one of the easiest to do since you only have to go around a rectangle with zero obstacles in the way. Going around this will get the ghost to take the long way around to try kill you whilst you make your way over to the garage door and walk to the car. Walking will save your stamina so you can sprint to the hiding spot. Make sure you turn your flashlight off before you turn the first corner. If not, the ghost will go to where it last saw your flashlight on and kill you in the hiding spot. The basement loop, in my opinion, is the riskiest loop in Willow Street, but can also be really helpful if you're stuck in the basement and want to go upstairs. I choose to stay in the basement, because I'm stupid, and hide in the room next to the looping spot. This was so I could break line of sight and hide, but doing this can be quite difficult. Because once you've gone round the shelves, you have to run to the door and hide behind it while it's running, so the ghost cannot see you for a second or two, whilst you make your way to the next room. Once you enter it, close the door and hide anywhere in the room. Edgefield Street House. What a map. This is the map where you have to spend 2 hours getting all the evidence for because the ghost decides to roam in every room upstairs. It's just great, isn't it? This map only has one looping spot, which is in the living room, but don't underestimate it because it's actually amazing. The reason it's so good is because of how easy it is. Going up the stairs breaks line of sight and gives you time to hide. The loop is easy as well. One spooky naked man is behind the middle part of the couch, walk to the other end, then sprint to the stairs. Run up those and hide to your chosen hiding spot. Also, if you guys didn't know, the amount of hiding spots there are depend on the difficulty you're playing on. For example, Amateur has 0 blocked off, Intermediate has 5 or under, Professional has 6 or under, and Nightmare has 7 or under. And there are 6 closets and 2 sets of lockers as well on Edgefield. I have to be honest with you, this map is definitely not my favourite. The loops on this map can actually be really helpful for if you want to go upstairs from the basement because it's a dead end, or onto the second floor so you can go into one of the closets. Luckily for me, the locker closest to the door in the garage was open, so I could use that to my advantage. Anyway, let's start off with the table loop. This loop isn't really the one that everyone goes for in this map. I've asked people on Discord what loop they usually go for, and most of them said the basement loop. This is because it's pretty much there to save your life for when there's no hiding spots down there. Anyway, the table loop is quite small, so I wouldn't risk going around it constantly. It's mainly used to go the way the ghost came from, so you can hide. When the ghost goes in between the two chairs, sprint all the way to the garage or basement. It depends where your hiding spot is. Once you're in the room, turn off your flashlight and hide. The basement loop is super useful. As I mentioned before, this loop is used for when you want to go upstairs to move to a safer position. It can be quite difficult pulling this off since the ghost can sometimes turn back on you when you're sprinting to the door. This is why you have to let the ghost move to a certain point before sprinting. Let the ghost get to the first turn of the shelves, then start walking around them. Save your sprint for running to the door. Close the door behind you and walk upstairs. Closing the door breaks line of sight and makes the ghost not go directly to you. Sometimes it can keep searching for you in the basement because it lost you when you turned the corner. However, the ghost kept going for me, so I closed the door at the top of the stairs as well and ran to the garage. Once again, I turned my flashlight off before I entered the locker. Well then, that's all of the loops for the small maps in Phasmophobia. I hope this helped with where to go when there's no hiding spot near you and the ghost is close. And if you're wondering where to loop on the bigger maps, stay tuned because that'll be in the next video. Also, new ghosts are coming soon, so I'll have to make a video on how to loop those since it'll be different from any other ghost there is right now. But yeah, that's all the looping spots on the small maps. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.